Fred here, welcome back to the Gear Obsession channel. In this episode, we'll be taking a look at the Mini 0826 Dashcam from GearBest. You know, it's my personal opinion that dashcams are an extremely important accessory that I think every car should have. As a matter of fact, there's some countries in the world that make it law where it's required in the car. And in my opinion, I think it's important because people are driving worse than ever. Not only are people driving intoxicated for decades, or ever since cars have been around, which has always been an issue, but now you have people being distracted by all their technology, all their gadgets, and texting while driving. At least twice a month, I'll have somebody cut me off because they're aggressive. You have aggressive drivers or the distracted drivers. So it's my opinion that if you want to have evidence that somebody just screwed you over and you get into an accident, you want proof. You want something that you could say in a court of law or show the cop that, hey, this idiot cut me off and hit me or whatever. Because if you hit someone from behind, you're going to have a hard time proving that it wasn't your fault. So a dash cam would come in very important in that case. Now this dash cam is really cool because it's so small. Look at it. Look, there's my hand. Look how tiny it is. And this is the version that also has the GPS unit, which is this part right here. So it's pretty cool. I like that it's all flat black, both front and back. It doesn't stand out. And I just placed it right underneath my rear view mirror, so it's really out of the way. And it's just there doing its thing. Now I went ahead and wired it. I'm not going to bore you by showing you how I wired it, but it does go. I have the wire. You can see the choke on the wire right there. And I just sort of tucked it in under the head, the overhead, whatever, and then it sort of travels into here and down the pillar all the way down underneath the dashboard, and eventually it turned off automatically there. Eventually it ends up right here where I plug it into the power outlet in the car right there. And if I was getting power, it would be getting, you would see that red light right there. I had to open my door to show you that. And you can see when your car powers up, it automatically starts up and starts recording, so you don't have to remember to turn it on. Really, really cool. The other thing that I really like about this is that it's all flat black. It does not stand out. You have to look really close to even notice it. So it's not silver, it's not shiny. You don't have any reflections or anything going on. It's just low profile, doesn't attract any attention. And it's very small, so it doesn't block your view in any way. I think that's exactly the way you want your dash cam to be. Now before I go into the details of this camera, what I'm going to do is show you some videos. I'm going to show you how it looks when you're running directly into the sun. You know, driving toward the sun, not literally driving into the sun. Night conditions, rainy conditions, and, you know, regular driving, so you can see how it performs. So let's go ahead and take a look. Now let's take a look at what you get with this kit here. You get the actual camera itself. Now I already showed you the little part, the GPS part that you put this into. That's in the car, stuck to it with some 3M tape that came with this that I'm not taking out. And I'm also not taking out the cable that I installed, which I showed you at the beginning. You also get the manual here. And you get these, it looks like cleaning cloths or stickers, so I don't know what they are. All kinds of other stuff too. You get some extra sticky things to stick the camera up. If you gotta pull it down and re-stick it, you get a circular polarization filter that you can put over the lens. That's pretty cool. And we got a power cable. I guess this is so you could do transfer to your computer if you want, if you don't want to take the card out. You have some little sticky cable holders, so if you don't tuck it under the headliner and do that, you could go ahead and use this to do your cable management in your car. Looks like another 3M sticky thing, and a cleaning cloth, and that's it. That's all you get. So you get a lot of stuff, but this is pretty cool that you get this. Now, this is the inexpensive version, because there's another version that's very closely related to this, and it has 8 gigs of memory built in. This one does not. That's why it only costs $73.99. You go, wow, that's a lot. Well, no. That's cheap when you talk about the features that this has, including GPS. And I'm going to show you what makes GPS so cool about having that in this camera or any dash cam, because I'm going to show you a piece of software at the end of this video called Dashcam Viewer and how you could utilize that information. So here's the camera, and again, the important thing that I feel about the physical attributes of the camera is that it should be flat black, so you don't have anything reflecting or glaring, and it's low profile. It's not something that's obvious mounted in your windshield. I think that's very important. Now, you can, it's like mounted up there in your camera. You could swivel it just like that. You can see how that swivels there. So you can point it in whatever direction you need to. You have the USB, micro USB port there. You have an HDMI out, and here's where you put your micro SD card. This could handle up to 64 gigs on your SD card. Not included. You're going to have to buy it. I mean, you can put smaller ones in there, but it can handle up to 64, and that's what I have in there. And you can see how the lens is raised up, so you can put that filter right on there. You can see the anti-reflective coating on that lens. That lens takes pictures at 135-degree angle, so you get a nice wide angle. You can see everything in front of you. Now I'm going to go ahead and plug the power in here that I have standing by, just so we could sort of look what the menu looks like. So when this gets powered, it automatically starts recording. And you can see that. See that when I went boop and you see the red light come on in there? That means it's recording. Now, while it's recording, if you press the up button just like that, it mutes the audio. I don't know if you could see that. I don't think I could zoom in that close, and now I screwed up my focus. So you can see it has a little circle with a line to it over the microphone. If you want to turn the audio back on, you press the up button again, and now it's recording audio. Now let's say an accident happens. You can purposefully save that particular video by pressing the down button while it's recording, and now it's going to lock that video clip just like that. So now the camera won't automatically override it when it's creating new videos, every couple of minutes, depending on how you set this camera up, because you could set it up where it does loops, where it can do either 1, 3, or 5 minute video clips, and then as the card gets written over, as you get more clips and more clips, it'll write over the oldest ones. But if you protect that clip that's important, it won't write over that one. So I hope you understood what I meant. Now I'm going to go ahead and stop this from recording. Oops. By hitting the OK button. By long pressing the OK button, it snapped the picture. By just pressing the OK button there in the middle, it turns it off. By the way, power button right there. Also, if you do a fast hit on it, it puts it in screensaver mode. Fast hit again, it turns it back on. Well, but it's still on, if you know what I mean. If you long press it, it actually turns it off. So to get to the menu, you long press the upper button right here, just like this. And you can see you have all these different features. I'm not going to go into every single one of them, you could go ahead and look in the specifications and the features in the description box below if you want to know every single feature, because I'm not going to cover it all because it's going to end up a long video. But resolution, I'm going to go ahead and go in there real quick, and you can see I have it set to 1920 by 1080p at 30 frames a second. You can set this up as high as 2560 by 1080 at 30 frames a second, but I like 1920 by 1080. I also chose that because the video viewer, or the Dashcam viewer software I'm going to show you later, cannot handle anything higher than that. It has nothing to do with the camera. Alright, so you could set up the quality, the picture size when you do those snapshots by hitting, long pressing that OK button while it's recording. You could change the photo quality. You could change the way it meters, handles lighting. It has all kinds of collision avoidance and lane departure features. I have not messed with it, but it's there if your car doesn't have it built in. Most cars have it or will have it. You could change flicker, white balance, exposure value, recycle, motion detection. I think the motion detection is like a G-Shock, so if the camera detects a crash, it'll automatically lock and save a video. Auto power off, so when the power, when you turn your car off and when the power on the accessory dies, this will automatically turn off shortly after. It can run a little while with an internal battery, a very short time, and then it'll turn off. What else do we have here? You have you could put a date time stamp on here, or you could put your license number in there if you want. You also could have a GPS stamp, because like I said, this has GPS, so we'll put the lat long on the bottom of the video. Velocity stamp will put your speed and turn the GPS on and off. Speed unit, which is either kilometers or miles per hour, and then the beep sound, so if you don't want to hear that noise every time you change the menu setting, you could turn that off. You could change the language, you could go back to default settings, format your SD card internally, and this tells you just what software version came with your unit right there. Nothing too important as far as that's concerned. So that's all your menu options. Long press the up button, it'll take you back out to the screen. So I have this set up where the screen comes on and it starts recording right away when I turn my car on, and then the screen will go into screensaver mode and turn blank, because I'm not going to watch this while I'm driving. I'm going to be watching through my windshield while driving. So that's all the functionality of this little unit. Very nice. As far as specific specifications, real quick, 1.5-inch diagonal measured display. Again, you have your GPS tracker comes with this particular unit. 3.2 megapixel snapshots. This comes with the umbrella A7 chip in it. Again, it has a microphone. It has a speaker built into it. That's why you hear the goes boop boop. Your exposure values, you could adjust it to plus or minus 2. And I already went over the maximum resolution. So if you want to know all the cable resolutions, you can see it automatically turned off. You could go in the description box below. The looping effect, you could turn it off, or you could set it to 1, 3, or 5 minutes. The video files are saved in a .mov format, and when you snap your pictures, they are JPG format. Now I want to show you a really cool piece of software made by a company called Earthshine Software, and it's called Dashcam Viewer. If you have a Dashcam with GPS capability built in, this software is a must. This is the fully registered version, which costs $15. They have a free version, but it's limited to 5 videos. Now, the way that this works is you just open up your file, specific file, or you could open up the folder with all the files, and then you could sort of sequence through them all and then play them. So here we go. We're playing one of the videos that I took with the Mini 0826, and you could watch the video. You can also see where you are on the map, and you could bring up either Google Map or Bing Map. You could also select the type of map. You could go to road map. You could select satellite. You could select terrain. Or you could select hybrid, where it is a satellite map with the road superimposed on top of it. Now on the upper right hand corner here, you have a little speedometer. It shows you your speed and the distance traveled, your direction, and you can see your lat and long up there. On the bottom, you have some graphs where it could show you the speed, your distance, your bearing, and the G-forces, because the 0826 Dashcam does have that motion detection built into it, so it has an accelerometer, and it can the software can read that information that was built into the software that the camera is able to record. So it's in the video. So I'm sorry, I'm trying to say that it pulls the information off the video that the camera put there. So it's pretty cool. And again, in the video, in the lower right hand corner here, you could see that I had activated the lat and long and speed stamp. And it also gives you your date and time. Now you could turn that stuff off. I went ahead and left it on. The only thing I would recommend that you may not want to display on your dash cam is maybe your speed, because you could self-incriminate yourself because you have an accident and you're speeding, then you're sort of giving away what your speed was. Now before I chose this, and GearBest sent me this for free to review, by the way, full disclosure, doesn't influence my review in any way, but I got to choose what I wanted, and I picked this one because it has so many reviews and they're all 5-star. So this has been reviewed by a lot of people, a lot of professional dash cam reviewers on the internet, and everybody likes it. And I personally, the features again that I sort of felt important was I wanted that GPS, and I wanted it not to be shiny and glittery. It's all just flat black, low profile, nobody noticed, nothing to see here. But it has everything I wanted in a dash cam, and it has that GPS, and it has it for the cheapest price for all these features, which at the time of recording here is $73.99 with free shipping from GearBest. Now that means it's getting shipped from China, so it is going to take some time. So do your order, forget that you ordered it, eventually it'll show up on your doorstep, and it's like Christmas in this case, April. And the other reason why these dash cams are important, besides vehicles and everything, is if something cool happens, like a UFO comes and flies across there, then you could post your cool UFO video on YouTube and become famous. Or any other weird paranormal things that go on in front of your car, those things you see in your head. I love this camera. I really, really like it a lot. I have it in my camera. I have it in my car all the time for my protection, legal protection. That's why you want one. Alright, so again, if you're interested, the link is provided in the description box below, along with all the specs and everything else that you need. And I also provided the link that you could go there and also look at all the information on the website in case I missed anything. Alright, well, thank you very much for joining me here at the Gear Obsession channel. I really appreciate every fan, viewer, subscriber, and especially you. And I hope you have a great and safe day. Take care. Bye.